Okay, now we're recording. All right, we're going to get going so that everybody can get to bed. um, Some of this is going to be a little bit of a repeat tonight because I think of the people that are speaking, we're going to kind of touch on a few of the subjects a couple of times. So many people on here, this is for new ambassador training. I think a couple of new people on here tonight. So when you first get started with your Plexus business, you want to have a game plan, whether that just be if it's just with the products or the business side. So it's just, we're going to really basically just talk about the business side of things tonight. So you need to have a plan and a goal. And I'm sure you've heard this many times before. Most people never plan to fail. They simply fail to plan. Take the time to write out your plans and your goals. Be realistic. Be tough on yourself and push yourself. And you can obviously get with your upline who or your sponsor who's been with Plexus, and they can kind of help steer your goals in the direction that they need to be going. So I mean, for instance, you know, when you first start out, one great goal is to have your products paid for. There's a goal for you. I've always kind of made it my goal to always hit that 25% commission. So I hit $500 in PV every month. It's great to hit that. It's really a huge boost from 15. Is it 15%? I don't think I've ever fallen below the 25. It's 15%, right? And then you bump to 25. So that's a great goal also. And just set little goals like that every single month. Just to boost your business. One of my favorite quotes, is what your mind can conceive, it can achieve. So goals are really, really important, even just with the products, you know, and I think Amy is going to talk about your daily method of operation. Just, you know, just taking your products, that's a goal every single day, is to be consistent with your products. Get started immediately with the business. Do not wait for this big, amazing testimony of what the products have done for you. You obviously, if you sign on to be an ambassador, you like what the products are doing for you. You know how you feel with the products so far. So don't wait to share the products with people. And Jennifer's going to cover posting a little bit. So just be consistent and jump in and just dive in with the business side of things. If you don't know the answer to a question, reach out. I try to make myself available all the time. So you can always shoot me a message or shoot your upline, your direct upline, a message, and they'll get back to you when they can. If you don't know an answer, don't be afraid. We can help you with that. Treat your Plexus business as a serious full-time business, and it will quickly become one. Now, full-time, I don't know if any of you realize, I'm very, very busy. I am running my kids from 2:30 in the afternoon until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So I work in my minutes when I can. You know, if it's 30 minutes a day that you can do 30 minutes a day. Do 15 minutes and 15 minutes. Break it up where you can. Just make sure you have dedicated time each day to do that. I tend to take Sundays kind of off on doing that kind of stuff, but I do still make myself available to my customers and my team to answer questions if I need to. I have on here, don't focus your attention. And a lot of people, you know, when they seem to get into network marketing, they try to focus on going out and getting that person that's just going to really boost their team and take them to the next level. Don't focus on those people. Just continue sharing and get out there. And, you know, those little rock stars will come along in your business. So just don't focus on going out and getting that big hitter. Know that rejection will happen. Someone's going to cover this. I think it's Tina. You have to reach out to someone 8 to 12 times before you can get that yes. If they say no to you, just continue to reach out to them. Now, don't harass them 12 days in a row. Just be consistent, though, with your reaching out to people, and just know that you are going to get those no's. But don't be afraid of the no's, because the more no's you get, you're going to eventually get the yeses. Yeah, here I have a note here. There are literally millions of people wanting what you have. Don't be afraid of it. Like I said, rejection is just all part of the ball game. I've been rejected so many times in 3 years, it's crazy. And I still keep going at it. I also said, goals. With your goals, set goals, think big dreams, set big goals. Thinking small produces small results. Live life without putting limits on yourself. Same thing with your business. Events. Getting to corporate events, local events, and hosting your own events is huge. Corporate events, if they're in the area, you need to make it a priority and go. We just had the opportunity of a lifetime tour in Charlottesville, the beginning of the month, right? It was beginning of March. And it's just a big opportunity tour that they do throughout the entire country. And there's actually still going on there. Our Diamond Up line was just in Philadelphia and Maine, I believe, this past week. We had the CEO was in Charlottesville. They're just great to get out to. It always helps build your belief in the company. So getting to corporate events. There's also a few of us going to Vegas in June, which is going to be lots of fun. That's for the annual convention that's every year, and it's in Vegas this year. That is a ton of fun. This will be my third one. My first one was in where were we at? We were in Phoenix, and then we were in Vegas, and then Vegas again. So lots and lots of fun. If you can get to those, they're a lot of fun. Plus, the trip is a tax write-off. So if you need a little mini vacation, you can go to the convention, and it's also a tax write-off. Hosting your own event. Now, I think Amy and Tina have an event coming up next week. Yeah, the 7th. When I'm leaving for vacation. If you want to host your own event in your home, invite your sponsor to come in and help you do that. I'm more than willing to come and help you do that. Also, they're a lot of fun. They're very casual. People can come in and taste the products, hear about the products, and there's really no pressure to buy the products. We're just really here to educate people on them. So I do encourage you to. Events are huge. They really, really are huge to get to, and the more you can get to, the better. Your back office, if you're not familiar with your back office, that needs to be checked often, if not daily. Especially once you start growing a team, you really need to get in there and check that daily. Also, you may have someone order from you, and emails, though they're great when we do get them. There have been times where we don't get emails. So if you have a customer that's ordered, you may not get the email from corporate. So it's good to go in and check your back office just to make sure that you are getting, reach out to your customers that have ordered from you that maybe they haven't talked to you about, and they just saw your link on your Facebook page or what have you, and they've gone in and ordered. So you just want to be checking that often. And if you need help with the back office, just reach out. It can be a little confusing and overwhelming in the very beginning, but once you get the hang of it, it really is a piece of cake. Training. If there's a training available and you can get on it, get on it. Haley DeJacque does them all the time, and she posts them on the team page. I will repost on my page when she has those. And there's Zoom calls just like these. You don't even have to have the camera on, kind of like Troy. We can't see Troy, but anyway, you don't have to have the camera on. You can sit in your pajamas and have your cocktail at night if you want, and do your team training right then and there. I do encourage you to get on those as often as you can. And I'll also, we also repost any trainings that any of our other uplines do on the team pages. Another thing, videos. There are so many videos out there. If you want, there's Troy. Hi, Troy. If you want any additional training, there are tons of videos on YouTube and the team pages for you to get on and to watch. You're folding laundry, just throw on a video and do that. Team pages, check those often, please. There's information on there, especially like towards the end of the month. We've been posting, information for people at the end of the month, etc. Any training that you can get to, do so. Listening to tapes, reading network marketing books are great. I always have a network marketing book that I'm reading, and they're not good just for network marketing. They really are good just for life in general and interacting with people and anything that you do business-wise. If you need suggestions for those, there's tons of them that are out there. Some of my favorites are Beach Money. That one's a lot of fun. It's an easy read. Go for No is a really, really great book if you haven't read that one. That one reads kind of like a story, so it's a really quick and easy read. Millionaire by Halftime is a really great one. If any of y'all have any others that are your favorites, you can put them in the comments down below. Yeah, so tapes, read books, network marketing, personal development. Those are all great. And like I said, not just for your business, but for life in general. Learn all that you can about your Plexus business. Now, I'm not telling you to sit down for 8 hours like I did in the very beginning and let it consume your life. We don't want this to consume your life. It's meant just to kind of be a side gig that kind of turns into a full-time gig. So just sit down and do everything that you can. Read about the products, read about the ingredients. The compensation plan, I didn't have that in my notes. That one's a huge one. And I'll tell you, for about this first 6 months to 8 months that I started with Plexus, I just kept putting it aside because it confused the heck out of me. Now I know it like the back of my hand, and it's the greatest piece of information that you could read dealing with your Plexus business. It is really crazy how well they compensate us in this business. I'm going to go over just a few of the products because we are planning to do another Zoom another day on the products and have a few testimonials in there. If you're just starting out, so if someone asks you, what products are good with what, and one thing that it really drives me crazy is everybody thinks that we're all about weight loss. Well, we are really not about weight loss. We're really about overall health. So I'm just going to briefly touch on the Triplex. Is pretty much great for just about everyone. I even have my 11-year-old and my 14-year-old on the products, and they take others than just the Triplex. But the Triplex is really going to clean up your gut. It's good for balancing your blood sugar. Everybody needs to be on a probiotic. Everybody needs to be, in my opinion, on the BioCleanse, which is a magnesium supplement, basically. Just depends on how many of each they need. And we'll go into that in another Zoom. And then the blood sugar with the Slim. Blood sugar stabilization is critical for everyone, even if you don't have a diabetic or sugar issue. Everybody's blood sugar needs to be balanced. Also, another one is the X Factor, the multivitamin, is amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. Back to the ProBio too, especially with allergy season coming. It's huge for allergies. My husband's allergies are completely gone thanks to the probiotic. That's pretty much all I'm going to talk about on the products, because we'll go into that in another Zoom. But just know that the Triplex is generally a really, really great place to start when you are getting people on the products. And if a lot of people are shy of that or kind of skittish of the price of the Slim, a great place to have everybody start to, if they don't want to spend quite so much money, is the BioCleanse and the probiotic, and you could throw in the X Factor there too. So I think personally everyone should be on the probiotic and the BioCleanse. So that's as far as I'm going to go into the products, unless anyone has any questions at the very end. We'll get to product questions if you have any there. So I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer. Oh, there she is. Jennifer, can you unmute yourself? Or you want me to unmute you? I got you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm Jennifer Davidson. I'm a Senior Gold Ambassador. And yeah, like Cheryl said, if you guys have any questions during the whole call, just write it down and we'll address them at the end. Okay, so I'm going to go over posting and consistency. A lot of ambassadors get stressed out and overwhelmed with the whole posting thing. Don't. It should be fun. It should be personal. All you're doing is sharing about something that you love or something that you're just starting, your new journey. So think about before you became an ambassador. What kind of posts caught your attention? I'm sure it was probably personal. Probably not a sales ad. That's really what we want to avoid. We want you to have personal posts so that your friends and your family see what you're experiencing. And that's what they want to see too. They don't want to see a sales ad. They don't want to feel like you're just trying to make money off of them. They're just another dollar sign for you. They want to see what the products are doing for you, what the business is doing for you, and that you truly care and that you want the same thing for them. Okay, so first and foremost, if you have not made your first Plexus post, you need to do that. And I actually have a really good graphic. I have it pulled up and I'm going to read it. And it's a really good post that you can use for your first post. And I can share the graphic later after the Zoom call if someone reminds me also. But so it says, so excited to start this Plexus journey that my friend, and you would put your sponsor's name, your friend that you signed up under, make sure you tag them, told me about. It's an all-natural health supplement that gave her more energy, better sleep, better gut health, and helped her or him feel better overall. Who wants to try this with me? And then post a selfie of yourself with your pink drink or your other products. If you don't have your products, just post a selfie so that people are seeing your face and they're linking it with Plexus at this point. And so it's short and sweet. It's showing, I mean, it's real. You know, you're asking who wants to join me. You're showing excitement for this new journey that you're starting. So you can go with that, or there are other ideas. If you're struggling with what to post for your first post, reach out to your upline. We are all willing to help in any way possible. And again, I'll share that graphic after this is over. Okay, so once you've made your first post, it is game on. It means it is time to stay consistent with it. People need to see that you're serious. People need to see that you're committed, that you're staying with this new journey, and it's not just a fad for you. I've seen so many people jump from company to company, from thing to thing, and at some point you just end up not trusting what they're posting anymore because you're looking at it as it's just another fad. So people want to see that you're serious, that you're excited about this new journey that you're on, and you want them to join you. So, and honestly, people do watch you. They watch to see if you're going to fail, if you're going to quit. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to prove them right. So it's important to just continue posting, continue showing excitement, and let them just walk with you through this journey. You don't have to put on a front. You don't have to lie about it. Share your experiences. That's what people want to see. They want to see honesty, and they want to see you care. Okay, so also now that you're posting about Plexus, do not puke Plexus all over your Facebook page. And I think Tina might go into a little more about this. But that's what I've seen some people do. And we understand your excitement. It's exciting. But you don't want to lose your friends. You don't want to lose your family members. You want people to follow you. You want to build your audience. And if you turn into Plexus all the time, people are just going to unfollow you, unfriend you, and you don't want to do that. So don't puke Plexus all over your Facebook page. Okay, so rule of thumb, and you can write this down, but number 1, you will post 1 to 2 times per day about Plexus. And remember to try to make it as personal as possible. Don't do a bunch of salesy ads. Take selfies with your products or your dog with your product, or just something that will get people's attention but not look like you're a billboard, you're a sales ad. You can post about product information, post about business opportunity. If you've just started and you're just getting your business going, you don't have to make it sound like you've earned thousands of dollars, because you haven't. You need to be real with people. You can share the opportunity and where your goals are and where you plan to be, because Plexus is a huge opportunity. And you don't want to mislead people. You don't want to say, oh my goodness, I just signed up 3 days ago and I've made, this much. Be honest with people. But change up your Plexus posts every day also. Don't make it the same thing every day. Your product information and your business. I typically, I am very blessed by this business, but I try not to overload post about business, but I do share frequently, just not overload about the business, but change up what you post each day. Number 2, don't forget to post personal posts every day. That is super important. Your Facebook page, until you join Plexus, has been your personal stuff. And that's what people want to see. I have a lot of friends and family that are not part of Plexus yet, but they follow me because they want to see my kids and my family and what we're doing. So you just want to make sure that you incorporate your personal posts still every day. Never miss a day with personal posts. If you miss a day with Plexus, it's okay. You can take a day off, but make sure you have your personal posts in there. And then the third thing, start incorporating engaging posts. People love to give their opinion. We all know that. So having engaging posts will help to keep your page active. For example, if you're going to get your hair cut, put 4 pictures up and say, okay, guys, I need your opinion, 1, 2, 3, or 4. You will have a ton of comments. I guarantee it. As for vacation spot ideas, people just love to give their opinions, love to tell you what they like, and it helps to keep your Facebook page active. And what I mean by that, the way Facebook works, now I don't know, other social media may be a little different, but I know everyone, well, almost everyone I'm sure has Facebook, and most people work their business majority off of Facebook, but I know there are other social medias. But the way Facebook works is if you have a lack of activity between you and another friend, you just stop seeing their stuff and they stop seeing your stuff. You don't want that to happen. Now, you're still friends per se on Facebook, but they don't see your posts anymore unless they go to your page. So you just want to make sure you still have activity with your friends. That's where the importance of liking and commenting on your friends' posts come in. Make sure you tell them happy birthday. Check every day, see whose birthday it is, tell them happy birthday. Make sure you comment and like on your friends' posts, like I said. But there is a fine line with that also. You don't want to spend all day, all of your time scrolling Facebook and liking and commenting on your friends' stuff, because that's just not income producing activity. It is building relationships and you do need time for that, but you don't want to spend all of your time scrolling on Facebook and liking and commenting your friends' stuff just because you want to stay active. It's important, but don't spend all your time doing that. Also, side note about your Plexus post. If you're not having any activity on your Plexus posts, if you feel like you did a really good post and you've only had like 1 like, no comments, and you're really disappointed and you know it's a good post, please go to the team page and post on the team page and ask us if we can show your post some love. Because, we are one team, we are one Plexus, and we want to help each other out. That's what we do. So go on the team page and say, hey guys, I just posted this morning about whatever, X Factor or whatever. I really feel like it was a good post. I haven't had much activity. Can you please show it some love? And of course, we'll go to that page. We'll go to your page. We'll like it, comment it, whatever. Because again, the way Facebook works, you want at least 3 comments on your post. That helps to keep it trending. And then more people will see it. So just let us know if you need some love. Another thing, make sure you have your Plexus post and your engaging post set on public. For instance, my Facebook page is set on friends only because I don't need the world to see my family and what we do all the time. However, I do want people to see my Plexus posts and my engaging posts. And if they want to be my friend and see the other part of my life, my personal life, then they can friend request me and I'll accept them at that point. But you can actually, if you're set on friends only, you can manually change your posts, your Plexus posts to public. And you'll want to make sure you do that, especially your engaging posts too. And the way you can do that is when you post, there's a little arrow, the top right corner of the post. Click on that arrow and it'll say edit privacy and you can change it to public at that point. So just being active and having activity on your posts is definitely a huge plus. Now, as far as what to post, a lot of people struggle with that too. Watch what your friends post about. People leave themselves wide open on Facebook. People talk about everything on social media, not just Facebook, but Instagram, whatever social medias. People leave themselves wide open. They talk about everything. Needing extra money, headaches, migraines, needing to lose weight, whatever it may be. Just keep an eye out for that and then start gearing your post towards those things. If one of your friends posts about migraines, you can't, we'll talk about compliance in a minute, but you can, in a way, post something about Plexus and helping with migraines, but we'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, gear your post towards what your friends are posting about. If they need extra money, share about the business opportunity with Plexus. And you don't have to tag them or cause attention, but post it on your Facebook page, and maybe they'll see it. Show them that this is a great opportunity and it's fun. And if you need extra money, this is the perfect opportunity. So don't be afraid to share those things. Also, if you haven't started the product, so you feel like you can't post, I think Cheryl had already said that, don't wait. I mean, there are plenty of compliance approved testimonials that you can share. People like seeing that kind of stuff. And you can private message people if it's not compliance approved testimonial. And like I said, we'll go over that in just a second. But use other people's experiences. You are free to do that, but don't be afraid to post just because you haven't started the products, or you just started the products and you haven't had a whole lot of results yet. Don't wait. And posts don't have to be huge and extravagant. They don't have to be this big production every time. I remember, I'm sharing tips that would have helped me in the beginning, because I remember when I first started and I first started posting, it would take me probably an hour to come up with a post. Jeremiah, my husband, would sit there and say, "What are you doing?" And I would say, "I'm trying to post. I don't know how to do this." And I was trying to make this big, extravagant post, and it really didn't need to be that hard. You can just post something personal and hashtag with Plexus. Sometimes that's better anyways, instead of posting this long post, because people are in a hurry these days. So if you post something really long, chances are they may not read it. So change up how you post. Do long posts, short posts, just a little quote, hashtag drink pink and move, or something to that effect. It doesn't have to be anything huge and extravagant. Now, if you're struggling with what to post, go to other ambassadors' pages to get ideas. That's what I do. Make sure you don't share their post. You can copy and paste them. Make sure you do not share them. I know when I'm laying in bed sometimes, this is when I will do it. I will go on other ambassadors' pages, and I recommend that you do this. Friend request other ambassadors. Because for one, we like to help each other out with liking and commenting. Two, you can get post ideas. And friend request ambassadors that are not mutual friends with you and your non-Plexus friends too. So we're not seeing all the same posts, but go through their page and look at posts. And if you like something, copy and paste it and private message it. That's what I do. I private message it to myself. So I have a whole list of posts that I can choose from anytime. But before I post, I always tweak it to make it my own. So make sure you do that too. There are so many ways to make good posts. You just need to be creative. So just remember that. What else am I going to talk about? Posting different times of the day. We've already talked about that. Oh, also, if you work a full-time job, posting can be kind of hard sometimes if you can't get to your phone or whatever it is. There are some apps that are perfect for this. I know 2 of them are called Hootsuite and Buffer. I think there are more. I don't know the names. If you know the names, there's a little chat here. You guys can share. But these apps, you can actually put your post in exactly how you want it. The post, the picture, you can schedule the time, the day, whatever. So you could sit down Sunday evening if you know you're going to have a busy week at work, put in all of your posts for the whole week, and it'll post it whatever time, whatever day you want it. So you full-time people, it can work. Trust me. I don't work a full-time job. Now my kids, though, they're a handful. But okay. Anyways, change up when you post every day.
Can I butt in just for 2 seconds?
Yes. Yes.
Sweet. Those little apps like that are great when you're going on vacation. So if you're going to be sitting at the beach for a week and you don't want to be posting, schedule them out so that you don't have to do that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's a great idea, because I know when you're on vacation, you want to spend time with your family. You don't want to be on your phone all the time. So, okay. Enough about posting. If you have any questions about posting, write it down and we'll address it at the end. But along with posting, we need to stay compliant. So I'm going to cover compliance just a little. don't be scared by all of this. But okay, so our supplements are not approved by the FDA. No supplements are. Doesn't matter if you buy them at Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, it doesn't matter. No supplements are approved by the FDA. However, the FDA and the FTC do follow us to make sure we are staying compliant, meaning we cannot list medical diagnosis publicly. So don't feel, and we're talking like you can't say diabetes and plexus in the same post, but don't feel limited by this. There are ways that we can get our point across by explaining symptoms, and people are going to know what we mean. I mean, when you say blood sugar levels, pretty sure people will know what you mean, diabetes. So instead of diabetes, you can say blood sugar levels. Instead of anxiety and depression, you can say struggling with fear and panic, overwhelming sadness. Instead of acne, you can say terrible cystic pimples, or something to that effect. There are ways that we can post without being non-compliant. So I do have a graphic. Do I have time to read it real quick, or I can share it? It's just a graphic that, and Cheryl, did you share it on the team page? It's Compliance 101. It's a list of, I think, like 5 compliance things to basically go by.
I'll put this recording on, and you can post your things you're going to post underneath the recording on the team page.
Okay. Well, I'll just post that graphic underneath. I think it's like 5 things on the list. It just goes over compliance briefly, short and sweet. But don't be afraid by the whole compliance thing. If you have any questions about compliance, please ask. If you're getting ready to post something and you don't know, reach out to your upline. We will answer. We'll look at it and we will help you. And if you accidentally post something that's not compliant, it's okay. If Plexus finds it, they will send you an email. They're not going to just terminate you. They will send you an email and they will say, on this day you posted this, it's not compliant. Can you please remove it? If you don't remove it by this day, they give you a timeline, then they'll move forward. I have no idea what the next step is, but just make sure you remove it if you get an email. So, but again, if you have any questions, just reach out to your upline. And then what else? Oh, consistency, not just with posting, but with your products. We are preaching it, so we got to live it. You got to stay consistent with your products. If you're drinking your pink drink at work, if you've started, drink it every day at work. So your coworkers are seeing that you're doing this every day and you are serious and you're being consistent. Another consistency is reaching out, and Cheryl had mentioned that, and I think Tina is going to talk about that a little more, I think, or she's talking about follow-up. She's talking about follow-up. But anyways, reaching out, important, very, very important. Ask any jewel, ask any diamond how much reaching out they've had to do, and your mind would probably be blown. Every day, you need to consistently reach out to 3 to 5 new people about Plexus. And I know that is scary. Trust me. I know. And you have to get out of your comfort zone. But you've got to do it. If you really want this business, you've got to be bold and just share that these products work. You love them, and just reach out to people. Like Cheryl said, you'll get rejected, and that's okay. You planted the seed. Chances are they'll come back around. So stay consistent with reaching out, stay consistent with following up. Again, Tina's going to go into follow up in just a minute, but you need to find a good system, stay consistent with it. Follow up, Cheryl had already said, it takes 8 to 12 contacts before someone says yes. So moral of the story, consistency is key with everything. And then the last thing I will mention is patience. You need to have patience in this business. Patience. And this was a hard thing for me because I am not a patient person at all. But I have gotten a lot more patient since, 1, having kids, and 2, starting Plexus. It's been a good thing. But big incomes never happen overnight. And that's with anywhere you work. This is especially true if you're working a full-time job somewhere. It may take a year or 2 to obtain your income goal and quit your current job, but wouldn't it be worth it? I mean, if you knew that you could be working your home business full-time in a year from now, wouldn't it be worth the wait? Wouldn't it be worth the work? I think it would be. I feel super blessed being able to be home with my children. So they do drive me crazy, but it is good being home with them. So anyways, that is all I have. Consistency, very important. So I think Tina's up next.
Yes, thank you. Great job. I'm actually going to piggyback very much off of what you all have said with consistency, because it really is so important, from your products to your posting to your follow-up. You know, people want to know that you are serious about this. And they say the fortune is in the follow-up, and I found that to be very true. You know, when you are reaching out to somebody, feel confident, because we do have products that work. And we are not selling anything. This is simply sharing. It's all a mindset. You know, you have products that work, and you have people who need these products. So be confident, and when you're reaching out to people, make it genuine. You know, don't focus on trying to sell them something. Genuinely look and see what their needs are and build those relationships. When you're asking, you know, somebody, or you're presenting Plexus to them, no does not always mean no. No could mean not right now, I'm busy, I don't know enough about the product, I'm really not sure if it's for me, I don't really see my value in there. Whatever, you know, you might even think about how long you personally step back and watch people posting about Plexus. You may have even thought of doing some research. Look how long it took you to make that decision. So, and like Cheryl had said, yes, that is very true, that 80% of people do not commit until you've actually presented Plexus to them between 5 and 12 times. That is a huge deal. So you can't just reach out to someone and they tell you no, and then you drop it, or they tell you no, and then maybe you try to bring it up again. You go for the no, and you keep them on follow-up until someone actually tells you, absolutely no, do not contact me. Then go ahead and respect their wishes and move on. But keep them on follow-up. Generally, I will follow up. If I send out a sample, I will do a follow-up within a couple of days to, number one, make sure they receive the sample. And then I'll do a second follow-up to see what they liked about the sample. As far as my customers, I try to do them on a monthly follow-up, at least once a month. If they've told me no, then that's good. I'm going to still keep them on a 1-month follow-up, check back in. And when I do these follow-ups, I don't necessarily have to mention Plexus. This can be, again, back to building those relationships. So I may just check on them. You know, maybe I've seen that they had just taken a vacation trip, and I may just compliment them, you know, send them a private message. Hey, it looks like you guys had a great time. Just make conversation, you know, because then that's going to jar their memory. Hey, you know, she's not just trying to push Plexus on me. So work on building those relationships. Keep your follow-up. And when you're doing your follow-up, keep it brief. Don't go into a lot of details. We have about an 8-second attention span. So when you are messaging people about this and you're trying to give them information, again, don't puke Plexus on them. Don't give them this long spiel, tell them every ingredient, just trying to go into every details. You're going to overwhelm them. So keep it short, keep it sweet. And as Melissa Martin said, play ball. By playing ball, we're referring to digging in and asking those questions. You know, I might just say, hey, Jennifer, how did you like your pink drink? And she says, oh, well, you know, it was okay. Okay, so then that's kind of awkward, right? You don't know where to go with the follow-up at that point. So you want to ask open-ended questions. You might say, hey, Jennifer, what did you think of your pink drink? Oh, well, it was okay. Well, then I'm going to come back and say, well, did you think it was too sweet or not sweet enough? Did you drink it room temperature? Did you have it over ice? You know, then you're starting to dig in deeper. You're trying to share some information with them and try to pinpoint what their issue is. Maybe they didn't realize that, you know, somebody told them that you have to mix it in room temperature water because it mixes well, but then they didn't like the flavor. And then you could come back and give them suggestions. You know, we have many ways to alter the pink drink. If you wanted to add it to unsweetened tea, maybe add in lemon or lime, cranberry juice, you know, whatever. There's lots of ways to alter it, and it does affect the taste a little bit. So not only follow up, but play ball, because you want to really know what their issues are, because maybe they're still, you know, tired. They didn't think this pink drink gave them the energy they need. Well, then that can tell you, hey, maybe you need to look at our X Factor vitamin. It helps with increasing your B12 absorption. So, do you take a multivitamin now? So it's really good way to help recommend products and, of course, meet their needs. So also as part of this follow-up, when I am keeping them on like a 1-month schedule, I will often send them incentives. Anytime there's an incentive, everybody gets a message from me. Okay, that's a special. Hey, so-and-so, Plexus rolled out this special this morning. I thought of you. It's a great deal, and I didn't want you to miss this opportunity. It's a great way to just kind of, keep that relationship going. Or if I see my friend posting that they're having migraines or they're having financial struggles, I may actually just come across a testimonial, whether it be a video or something, and I might just actually private message them this and leave it at this. I might just say, hey, I noticed you posting you had a migraine this week, and I came across this testimony and it made me think of you. And I'm just going to leave it at that because then they know you're thinking about them and you are trying to, again, meet their needs. So again, it's all tying into those relationships. I also want you to think a little bit about what you would say when somebody asks you, what do you do? Or why do you use Plexus? Or whatever in that sense. And we refer to it as an elevator speech. So when somebody asks you the question about what do you do, okay, you're going to need to be able to rehearse this ahead of time and know what you're going to say to somebody, because you don't want to say, oh, I'm in a health and wellness company. We have this pink drink that helps with blood pressure, cholesterol. You don't, again, want to give them that long spill. You want to keep it short and sweet. And so I've got 2 examples for you. One that's going to be more detailed and one that's going to be quick and to the point. Keep in mind, when somebody asks you what you do, this is not your time to try to make a sale. This is your time to spark some interest, yes, but not to make a sale. You don't want to puke Plexus on them. So keep it short and sweet. And here are 2 great examples of one that would be more detailed. And you can think a couple of these ahead of time. You can write these down and practice them, verbally, say them out loud so that you become comfortable. And you might, know the person who's asking you this, and it gives you an advantage because you've got a couple of different ways to answer that question, so you're not in a predicament. So the first example I have is someone asking me, what do I do? And I might say, I help working moms make a great income working part-time from home so they don't feel guilty for missing out on their kids' childhoods. Okay, tell me more. I am going to obviously say this to one of the moms at the ball field, somebody whom I know. So, I've already got the speech. I already know how to approach them. On a short example, somebody else might say, what do you do? And I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm a health and wellness entrepreneur. And then I'm going to say, but enough about me. What about you? So, I've turned the ball around and I've got the ball rolling to draw conversation, and I've taken it off of me, but they're really still wondering, health and wellness, what do you do? So, just think of that a little bit ahead of time and maybe come up with your own elevator speech. What would you say when someone asks you, what do you do, or what is Plexus? Lots of different suggestions on those product cards. When you got your success kit, there are price sheets in our success kit, and on the back, they tell you briefly what each product does. So you can come up with our core product, our pink drink, and just prepare yourself so you have something to share on a follow-up. Again, it's not the time to sell your product. You want to spark interest and turn it to where you can build a relationship and carry on a conversation. And for your follow-up, you're just going to have to find a system that works for you. I am still a pen and paper kind of girl, and I keep my Frank's list written down, and I think Amy's going to touch a little bit on that, but Frank's stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, what do we got? Neighbors, kids connections, and service personnel. So this is a great way for you to think of a list of people that you know who meet these criterias. And then that can be your list for contact on how to reach out to people. But Amy, I think, is going to touch up a little bit more on that. But if you have any questions on consistency and follow-up, again, we can answer questions at the end of the video. So I'm going to turn it over to Amy.
You are. Maybe. All right, so I get to go last, and I have to keep everybody's attention because you've been sitting here for 45 minutes. And if you're like me, you're probably ready to hit the pillow and pull the covers up. So anyhow, so I'm going to touch on a couple different things. But one thing I want to start off with is I want you to think about, the laws of physics, right? Anytime there is an action, right? Anytime you have a reaction or an action, there's going to be a reaction. So with your business, you can have a positive reaction or you can have like a negative or even a neutral reaction with that. So we just really need to think about that. Like tonight, you are getting so many tools to put in your toolbox, and that's great. But it's up to you to open the lid off the toolbox and start doing the work. Otherwise, it's not really going to do you any good. And I think everybody's on here tonight because you are interested in growing your business with Plexus. So that's kind of where we're going to start. One thing I'm going to be talking about are your DMOs, and those are your daily methods of operation. And there are lots of different formats that many Plexus upline ambassadors have put out there for us to use, and I actually found one that works for me, and I will post it on, I guess, when Cheryl posts the recording tonight, I'll put this on there. But this is kind of, I don't think you can see anything on there. Well, yeah, you can. So this is actually, I think I got this from Frank Luke, and but I love it because it starts off your day. And you don't have to go in order, but the first one I always do. That's the first thing I always do. And it's my prayer time and it's my scripture time. And that just gets my day going. And so that's how I start my morning before I start doing anything else that has to do with Plexus. Is I have my prayer time and my scripture time. But let me let you know, not all of you, and I don't know that I'm friends with all of you on Facebook, but I do work full time. I teach second graders all day long. I have 3 girls, one's in college, one's in the high school, and one's in middle school. So I'm very busy, always planning a wedding for the oldest one. So my day, I have to manage my time very carefully. And I'm kind of skipping around on our outline a little bit just because I felt like this is where I needed to go right now. A few years ago, my pastor preached a sermon, and it was all about being all in. And in that moment, whether it's, you're sharing Christ with someone or whether you're working your business or whatever you're doing, you need to be all in that moment, not thinking about something else or worrying about something else. It's taking that time that you've been given and using it to your fullest. And so that's what I have found has helped me the most is whatever I'm doing in that moment, I have to be all in. If it's folding the laundry, I'm going to be all in and folding the laundry at 8 o'clock at night. But that's just, I always think about that. So I encourage you to do that. But back to my daily method of operations. So there's different ones that are on here, but I'm just going to kind of go through them and share with you what's on here. You can tweak it and make it work for you. Because if you're a brand new ambassador, what you might do on this list might be something different than a senior Ruby ambassador Cheryl might be doing. So it starts off with friending people on Facebook. And every day you want to friend people. And I don't mean friend 100 people on Facebook. Let's be realistic. You're going to friend a couple people, 2 to 3 people a day. And when you friend them, usually you're looking at people who have mutual friends as you. If you're friending somebody that doesn't have any mutual friends as you, they're going to think you're a kook. They're going to wonder why in the world are you, wanting to be friends with them. There has to be some connection there. So make sure, you think about that as well. So look at friending people every day. You do want to wish people happy birthday. I love putting a little graphic with it. It just makes it more personal because I'm sincere. If I'm telling you happy birthday, I'm not just doing it just to send it to you. I really mean that, and I want that person to know that. So if I personally know them and I know they love horses, I'm going to put a graphic on there that has happy birthday with a horse on there because that's just important to me. That's who I am. I build relationships first. So make sure you do that. And when I first started working my business, I did not follow this. Do you think I remembered to say happy birthday every day to someone? No, because I didn't have this paper in front of me. But I do this, and I keep 5 of them every week. And like if I was to turn the page, you could, can you see? I've already started writing on there for the next day. So that's just how I use that. But then you're going to the relationship building piece. And Jennifer talked about this. When you're on Facebook, don't sit there all day long and like everybody's stuff and comment on everything. That, first of all, we're not called to sit on social media all day. No one is. Go on there a couple times and, enjoy your friends, right? That's why you were on Facebook to begin with. Enjoy them. See what they're doing. Let them know that you love them and you care about them. And then also on here is to contact 5 new people about Plexus. They're not every day that I contact 5 new people, but I do try to contact 3. But then there are days when I might contact 10 new people. So it balances itself out. And I think that's really important to remember, that you have to find that balance that works for you. And then follow up with at least 2 prospects. And this is when I follow up with people who I've sent samples to, or maybe it's someone who won a 3-day trial, or is even doing a 3-day trial, or maybe it's someone who I haven't heard from in a couple months who tried a sample a while ago, but I want to follow up with them again because I've noticed they're posting something on Facebook that I really think that Plexus can help them with. So I'm going to jot their name down and I'm going to follow up with them. If you're building your team, right, that's something you want to be doing, and you already have that team going, reach out to at least 1 active ambassador every day and then 1 inactive ambassador. Now, if you have a team of 3 or 5 people, you're not going to be doing that every day because you're going to wear those poor people out and they're going to get tired of you and you're going to become a nuisance, and you're there to support them, not to bother them. So I think we have to be mindful of that as well. So that's where I was saying, depending on where you are with your business, that piece might be one that you want to, maybe do once a week instead of every, all 5 days. Well, I do the DMO 5 days a week. So that's up to you. If you want to do it 6 days, please take your Sunday off. But anyhow, so there's that piece. But then also posting on Facebook. You want to post on Facebook 3 times a day. Now that does not mean 3 Plexus posts a day. You want to have your personal post in there. You want to have your Plexus post in there. You might want to have a motivational post, something like that. I like to plan mine out. And so like when I have my 5 DMO sheets, I can plan them out for the week. And I use the save button on my Facebook. Instead of private messaging it to myself, I save them and then I can archive them as I use them, or delete them if I decide I don't want to use them. But I always tweak them to make them my own. The way I talk is completely different from how Tina speaks, or Cheryl, or Jennifer, or anyone. We all have our own little isms with how we speak, and I'm kind of funny sometimes in mine, and I play around with it. So we're all different. You need to make it sound like you. I don't need to sound like somebody from Maine because I don't say, you all, I say y'all. So just be mindful with those things. Follow up with 1 current customer. I have a very large customer base, and I do that. Sometimes it's more than 1 customer a day. Sometimes I'm following up with those who've been with me for over a year now. I can't believe I'm saying that. Over a year now they've been with me, and I follow up with them about every other month, just to make sure their regimen is still working for them. If not, we tweak it to see what they might want to add. So always follow up with your customers because you're there to service them. That's what we're here for. We're here to help them. And then you want to make sure you're being active with, watching videos, getting on Zoom calls, all of those things. Now, do you want to absorb your day and watch 20 videos in a day? Absolutely not. First of all, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're not going to remember what you watched in the first video. So don't do that. It's not binge watching. It's, select 1 or 2 and watch those. And I like to watch 1 or 2 a week. I don't have time to watch them every single day, especially if they're a 25-minute one. So be careful on how you choose that. And then the last thing on my DMO is my back office. Now, I usually check my back office in the morning and at night. Today, my back office had a new friend on there. I don't know what was going on with it. But anyhow, that's a whole other story. But make sure on your back office, you go to, if you have not already gone to the tools button, I want you to go to tools and go to the shareables and get on there and educate yourself about what's on there. They have given us some great tools to use, and we can share those. You can share them on your Facebook page. You can share them in a private message to someone, on an event page, lots of different ways to share them. But then when people click on them, they go directly to your website. So that is a great, excuse me, a great tool that they've given us. Hold on a second. Can you tell I teach all day? I get all excited and want to tell you more. So with time management, I think you need to look and see how much time do you have in a day for Plexus, right? You need to be realistic. If you work full time, you don't have hours for Plexus. I have 30 minutes a day that I can say that is my Plexus time. Now that does not mean I'm on there friending people and I'm putting my happy birthday to you, or I'm liking different things that you've done. No, that does not count as working my Plexus business. I mean, I am messaging people. I'm meeting people face to face. I am writing cards with samples in there and getting those ready for the mail. That's what I mean about working my business, that hands-on nitty-gritty part. So if I say I have 30 minutes a day, I'm all in for those 30 minutes doing those exact things. So don't, like I said, don't count friending people and the easy stuff. That's not, we like to count that and say that's working our business, but it's not always that income producing activity for the moment. And then Frank's List. So my Frank's List stays in a spiral notebook. And let's see, this is one from a long time ago, but I'm constantly changing. I'm writing notes. I'm constantly changing my Frank's List because people are coming off, because they're becoming customers or becoming ambassadors. So, I think it's important to make sure you're always using that. But you're going to use that to see who are you going to reach out to, right? So make sure you're always updating that because you're meeting new people all the time. So, usually they say, 100 people in there. Well, really, no. It's whatever, works for you. You might have 150 people on there because you're constantly meeting new people. And I'm going to tell you, and don't y'all laugh at this notebook when I show it to you, but Tina says she's a paper pencil girl. I'm a Post-it note list girl. If you look at this one, I've taped in like lists that I have made. Like I can't even try to staple that page on there because it came out of something. But look at that. That's how I work. So I don't think there's any right or wrong way. You have to find out what works for you and go with it. But like I said, you can have the best knowledge about products. You can have awesome Facebook posts. You can what else was I going to say? Oh, your Frank's List. You could have names written all throughout the entire notebook, but until you start working that business and putting that action plan in place, your business is not going to grow. So reach out, open up that toolbox, and let's go. So that's me. I'm done.
Thank you, Amy. All right, I'm going to wrap up the training part of everything. I just have a few things to leave you with here. Always be enthusiastic. Smile when you're talking to people. Enjoy yourself and let others feel your enthusiasm for what you're doing. It quickly becomes contagious. Then my next little note here, don't allow small problems and rejections that arise throw you off and upset you. Think about all the positives and always keep focused on the big picture. Third thing, have fun. People want to be around others who are having fun, be it in everyday life or your business. Have fun with your Plexus business, enjoy yourself, and watch how many others want to be involved in what you're doing. Amy is a perfect example of that, I think. The fourth thing here, don't let anything knock you out of your Plexus business and cause you to quit. You can only fail in this business if you give up on yourself. I am going to stop recording